Twitch is dying, or it might be. Let me tell you a little bit about it. So Twitch is a platform that started up on June 6th, 2011. It was the next wave of content creation. YouTube was created and was basically in its infancy, and there was now content creators over there. And one thing that was going on over on YouTube was the Let's Play genre. People were playing video games in hour to 2 hour segments, or even 10-minute segments, labeling it things like Part 86 and publishing it over on YouTube. People were enjoying this form of content, but it was lacking one core element: interaction with the audience. The way it would work on YouTube back in the day is you would record part 52 of your Let's Play of whatever game just came out, and then you would have to read the comments to get any kind of audience interaction. You could respond to the comments, but those comments could be coming a week after the video was published, and the content creator would have to stay on top of that. The concept of Twitch was to make it more interactive, to get more on top of things, bring live streaming into everybody's day-to-day lives. The idea simply was, let's play video games, and we're going to do that live with people watching. But Twitch is actually not where it began. Twitch started as a website known as Justin TV. When the internet was still blossoming and 5G connections were like way out in the horizon, Justin TV was people basically live streaming their lives. It was the just chatting of today, but a whole platform aimed at that. Justin TV was against having gaming on its platform, which is why they made Twitch. The general idea was that Twitch.tv would be entirely for gaming, while Justin TV would be the day-to-day lives of vloggers who want to live stream their lives, or people who just want to have conversations with their audiences. Live streaming was the next big tech bubble. While YouTube and content creators were finally getting on their way, the prospects of making money were on the horizon, Twitch was the next thing. People on YouTube are already established, making it much more difficult for content creators to get a good footing while getting into YouTube. While on top of that, the partner program and things like MCNs were just in their infancy. Money was still kind of a pipe dream, although the biggest names could make money. So jump onto the next platform, the next big thing. Play your video games live and interact with your audience, and possibly make a good chunk of change doing so. So people started to migrate over to Twitch. A lot of the gaming scene from YouTube went over to Twitch. That's not to say that the gaming scene on YouTube died. It's still around to this day, but it was greatly diminished as Twitch gained more and more popularity. There were obvious growing pains in the early days of Twitch, from dropped frames to low resolutions to just people learning how to stream games. But overall, Twitch was catching on. It was catching on so quickly that the writing was on the wall in about 2014. At this point in 2014, Twitch was still just the baby's new content creation platform, but it was catching on like crazy. YouTube was getting far more established at this point. The idea of becoming a YouTuber was becoming an actual prospect of a career. And at this point, from this YouTuber's point of view, I jumped onto the YouTube bandwagon in 2012, and at this point, I was doing quite well and considering swapping over to Twitch. Because, honestly, Twitch was the cool guys at this point. Twitch had mottos such as bleed purple, never get off of Twitch. Twitch is a family and we're banding together. Come over here to hang out with your gaming community and grow your gaming community. Be a part of Twitch. And the first big event, the one that is notated in the wikis and everything else for Twitch, officially happened in 2014. And you're not going to guess what it was. Because at this time, Twitch had its big names, it had its big streamers, and they were getting into the esports scene as esports was beginning to gain prominence. But the big event that finally put Twitch on the map and is notated as being the first major event, Twitch plays Pokemon. The concept was simple. Someone had created a bare bones AI that would read Twitch's chat, and that would react and basically do what Twitch's chat wanted. So you put a basic game like Pokemon, which has very basic controls and very basic movement, and you allow the chat to control Pokemon. Now, the story of Twitch Plays Pokemon is something that is worthy of an entire video unto itself. But I just wanted to note that this is the first thing that many articles and many wikis are notating as the first big thing for Twitch. The first time Twitch went from just being the cool guys playing video game club to something more, and people saw the prospects. They made a few other big moves in this year, such as being E3's official streamer. That was like a big move for them. And they officially shut down Justin TV, something that I disagree with because of where that went, but we're going to get there. But at this time, due to the popularity that they were gaining from Twitch Plays Pokemon to becoming the official streamer of E3 to shutting down Justin TV and moving everyone over to make Twitch a larger platform, there were talks in the background that YouTube was going to buy out Twitch. A lot of companies were interested in joining the Twitch bandwagon. The entire tech industry on the side of content creation saw YouTube as the old way of doing things. Creating a video, putting it out to your audience, that's old. We made that like 6 years ago. It's funny how quickly things move. Streaming is the next big thing, and if you can conquer streaming, you could potentially compete with YouTube and all the other juggernauts. From Facebook, and I'm pretty sure MySpace was already dead at this point, but Facebook was still kind of popular, but people were going to Twitter, and Instagram was starting to pick up. Live streaming was going to be the next big thing. Everyone wanted to live stream. We've seen a very similar trend of things happening right now with short-form content, where short-form content took off. Every platform created their version of short-form content. Well, live streaming was that in 2014, 2015. Every company wanted their version of live streaming. We had things like Periscope, which was a platform to live stream yourself, which was bought out by Twitter, coming out in 2015. And we had things such as Instagram Live trying to chase the trend, starting up in 2016 on a larger platform. On top of this, YouTube was still trying to figure out what they wanted to do. But YouTube didn't end up buying Twitch. And other than rumors, we don't know how true that prospect was. The people who did end up buying Twitch were Amazon. For $970 million, they bought Twitch as their live streaming platform of choice. If you look back to Business Insider, you can see an exact quote from the Twitch CEO at the time of Amazon's purchase. Today, I'm pleased to announce that we've been acquired by Amazon. We chose Amazon because they believe in our community, they share our values, and long-term vision. They want to help us get there faster. They're keeping mostly everything the same. Our office, our employees, our brand, and most importantly, our independence. At the time, there was a lot of panic because Amazon taking over meant a lot of bad things. Amazon was already making their own moves with Amazon Prime and things along those lines. I mean, they were trying to just get into as many things as they could. This is also around the time frame when Amazon bought a lot of gaming studios. And if you follow the scenes of gaming and you understand Amazon Game Studios, you know how poorly most of those panned out. Amazon was just trying to buy their way into as many industries as they could. Twitch was seen as a way to do so. At this point, Twitch had an unlimited amount of cash. Twitch continued to grow at an exponential rate with more competitors coming out of the horizon, such as YouTube, which at the time, they tried to launch as YouTube Gaming, a direct Twitch competitor with its own platform and a launch page to go to. It was literally not integrated into YouTube. It was its own thing, and it looked just like Twitch, but red. Were you going to bleed purple? No, you were going to bleed red now. And they tried to sell it on like a YouTube red heart thing. Didn't look good, and it didn't last very long. Twitch also made a lot of purchases. They were trying to sweeten the package of what Twitch Prime was and what Twitch was. They bought things like Curse LLC, and they were being integrated into Amazon Prime by connecting your Amazon Prime and your Twitch Prime. That is now simply known as Prime Gaming, and it's a part of the entire Amazon Prime package. But early on, Twitch Prime was its own thing with its own priorities and its own rewards and things like that. Twitch was trying to make it a better package to be a part of the Twitch community. But as Twitch was gaining more prominence, the problem is Twitch started to have a lot of its own issues. As someone who at the time was streaming to not a small crowd, but not a large crowd in any way, shape, or form, I could see a lot of the writing on the wall, especially as being a prominent YouTuber, because at this time, my YouTube channel was doing quite well, my original channel. Twitch was handled in a very much in a high school manner. If you knew somebody on Twitch and you had a connection, you could get partnership. You could be a part of their decision-making process. You could get featured on the front page. But if you weren't the cool guy club, you weren't a part of this larger Twitch organization, or you didn't know someone on the inside, none of that was going to happen. This was actually a common theme with early influencer spaces. To get verified on Twitter, you needed to know someone who knew someone who knew someone, and then maybe you could get verified on Twitter. To get verified on Instagram, you had to have the appropriate amount of connections to get into there. You either had to have like cajillions of followers/subs on one platform, or you needed to know someone. And even if you did have a large enough following, you couldn't always get verified because everything was about holding that piece of the pie, and Twitch was no different. The people who worked at Twitch, Twitter, Amazon, YouTube, Instagram, all of these platforms all held it like it was like some golden trophy that they might invite you to be a part of. But Twitch and Twitter were the most egregious when it came to this, where you just needed to know somebody. And even if you were popular on another platform, that didn't necessarily lead to partnership or revenue splitting. It was a well-known problem, especially in the Twitch side, because the way Twitch functioned was a lot of people playing video games, and this was their entire livelihood. So a lot of people had a very drama-filled high school reaction to things, including the people who worked behind the scenes. But none of that matters because Twitch is a tech company. Tech companies do not care about high school drama or how cool they could be or things like that. The way a tech company works is a lot of them just don't make money. The idea is if you can get enough followers, if you can get enough viewers, if you can get enough eyeballs on your product and you show continual growth, then the idea is that eventually there will be money to be had. Be it you pushing people to other platforms or other products, or just finding a way to monetize them. Platforms such as Vine were shut down because there was no way to monetize Vine in an effective way, which is also an issue with short-form content right now, but that's an entirely different video why short-form content doesn't pay well. But every year, you would hear, if you were in these circuits, Twitch isn't profitable. You also heard YouTube isn't profitable, Twitter isn't profitable, Instagram isn't profitable. Supposedly, these platforms, which everyone uses these days, none of them had actually found a way to make profit off of what they were doing. But that was okay, because investment capital firms would continue to pump money into these tech startups because they were continuing to grow. That's the key. If every year would go by where they could gain more and more people under their platform, eventually you would find a way to monetize those individuals. It's actually an issue that Facebook is having right now, where Facebook can't grow anymore. Not because they're unpopular, not because they're considered mom's social media platform, but because every person in the world with access to the internet has a Facebook account. That's literally what their metrics state. Facebook's goal of moving into the metaverse is because they're trying to make a new platform that you're going to care about. Except they made the metaverse and we don't care about that. Their other goal is to get the internet into places there is no internet. Because if they can tap into those areas, there's new users to add to Facebook. But that became a problem for Twitch. Because 2020, COVID happened, and we had a weird flip. You see, Twitch has made a lot of recent bad decisions in terms of the creator landscape, from cutting their contracts to 50% to shoving more and more ads onto the viewer experience and basically doing as much as they can to make money. And the question becomes, why? Why are they doing that now? That's because they stopped growing. 2020 hit, and we were in the middle of the streaming wars, which meant everybody had streaming platforms they were using, and in those streaming platforms, we had Twitch. Now, Twitch has always been the baby of the social media platform, because while they've been growing, it's been very steady growth. 2015, they had 0.5 million viewers watching. 2016 was 0.6 million viewers watching. 2017, they had 0.7 million viewers watching. Then it was 1.07, 1.26, and that's when 2020 hit. 2020, they went from 1.26 million viewers watching to 2.12 million viewers watching. They almost doubled their numbers in the year of COVID. They then went from 2020 to 2021, almost doing the same numbers again, reaching 2.78 million viewers watching. That's when the problem hit. 2022, they went down. They had a 6% decrease to 2.5 million concurrent viewers in 2022. The issue becomes that Twitch is no longer growing. We are now losing viewers, and we don't have a way to monetize this. As every year goes on, that Twitch is potentially going to go down, because we don't have the 2024 numbers as of me making this video, that means that they are now losing potential viewers. So why did Twitch go in the other direction? And this humble YouTuber's opinion, it's due to short-form content. Everybody was trying to jump on the live streaming bandwagon up until TikTok became a big thing. They had Musical.ly before, but no one really used Musical.ly that I know of. It had a very small fan base. But when they decided to go outside of Musical.ly and make TikTok, it blew up. Everybody wanted a piece of that short-form content pie. Live streaming was no longer the newest, coolest piece of tech. Live streaming had now gained popularity and had been around for over 5 years. That was old news, and it was pretty much decided Twitch won that race. So, instead of being a part of that race, every platform moved to trying to get a part of the short-form content pie. We've also now moved kind of pseudo-generations. While my generation enjoyed long-form content on YouTube, which would obviously parlay our way into long-form content on Twitch, as the years have gone on, people are getting more and more inundated into quick, short-form pieces of content. Photos on Instagram, you scroll past instantly. Twitter, as you doom scroll down trying to see what everyone's complaining about, and TikTok filled that niche perfectly because you can lay on your couch and scroll videos for hours and you just lose track of time. You don't have to try and watch somebody play a video game for 4 or 5 hours. You can quickly go through and get that dopamine rush of I finally found a good video, let me send it to my 20 friends. And it kind of took over the Twitch thing. At this point, Twitch just kind of had a bad namesake. The community was doing well and it was very close and tight-knit, but you began to hear a lot of problems, such as problems with mods or the women who were running around scantily clad on Twitch. They were trying to find a way to make money and they were letting a lot of things pass through because there was no official team controlling things. It was, like I said, the cool guy club, and they would just kind of let things go or ban things as they saw fit. If anybody was making Twitch significant money, we really can't touch that because Twitch isn't making money, meaning they need that money. As 2022 saw a decline in Twitch's viewership, that's when we began to see a lot of the drastic changes coming over Twitch, cutting the contracts to 50%. A lot of their competitors were allowing dual streaming, so Twitch tried to fight that as much as they could until they couldn't anymore for fear of losing more people. Anything that they could do that would allow them to keep that PG-13 rating but get them more revenue was allowed because, as the CEO has stated in these recent weeks, they still weren't profitable. They began to do massive layoffs, which is related to two different things. One, they're losing viewers. That means that they need to go, okay, how much money are we making? Because that's what we need to operate with. We aren't gaining more people. But on top of that, during COVID, a lot of tech companies tripled their staff sizes. Why? The government would pay you to keep employees on. This is something I don't see talked about very much, but my company, I didn't have to fire anybody during COVID because the government gave us money to keep people on. And a lot of people abused that system by massively hiring more people. The more people you had, the more money the government would give you. There's even full scams of people who just fabricated companies and staffing just to get millions of dollars out of the government. So you combine these tech companies bloating themselves during the COVID years, on top of the fact that Twitch isn't making any money. They still aren't profitable. And what that's going to lead to is Twitch dying. They got so archaic in their rules that many streamers have ended up leaving to other platforms offering more revenue splits. So they're losing some of their biggest streamers, which is losing them more money. So they're letting more things through the system, which is leading to more people leaving. So what do they do if they're not making more money? They do massive layoffs. They cut all the contracts down to as low as it feasibly can get, which is a 50-50 split with Twitch, which right now in the content creator space is the worst contract you can sign. And on top of all of that, they just try to get into a profitable range before they potentially lose all of their viewers. Will Twitch ever truly die and shut down? I highly doubt that. But we have seen social media platforms go the way of the dodo before, and it's not like Twitch is the only thing out there doing live streaming. So in my opinion, is Twitch dying? The question of our video? It actually is right now. Is it fixable? Yes. Will they fix it? I'm not the Twitch CEO. I'm just a guy with a lot of opinions. Hope you enjoyed this video, and if you enjoyed this channel, make sure you like and subscribe. All that YouTuber junk that I'm supposed to say at the end of this stuff, because I'd really appreciate it. And I'll see you at the next video right here.